Hey, Kyle, it's wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's NJPW G1 Night 6 from July 26, 2022. We're live from Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan, the first Korakuen Hall. So G1 Climax 32 heads to Korakuen Hall for the first time for 2 nights, starting tonight. And then after 5 nights already in the books, many are heading into their second block matches, but three of the guys tonight in the G1 league matches will be having their first match. So pretty weird how the whole structure is coming up, with some people having already finished 2 matches before other people have even started their G1 climaxes. So we'll get to see a couple debuts tonight in the G1, but let's start as usual with the preliminary tag matches. And starting us out this evening, Nakashima makes his return. Yuto Nakashima returning from injury to team up with fellow Young Lion Kosei Fujita, and they'll take on Yujiro Takahashi and Sho. Normally trained in the scientific fundament. Never mind. The Young Lions may struggle in the face of their devious opposition here, so they're not quite trained up on all the brawling and dirty tactics. So this should be a mismatch for sure. Yujiro is certainly expected to be in a foul mood after El Phantasmo walked out of their league match in Ota with 2 points and Peter in tow. So what happens when we get started at Korakuen tonight? Let's find out. We start the night off with the Young Lions music playing and Fujita and Nakashima run down. And this is Nakashima's first match after about a 1 month long injury, maybe a little bit longer. So Nakashima has a little mini afro going with his hair now, pretty cool looking. Probably helped out with the humidity of the Japanese summer. So Sho and Yujiro come out next. No Dick Togo accompanying them. He'll be busy getting Evil ready for his G1 match later on. So Fujita and Yujiro are going to start this match, and Sho throws Nakashima into the barricade. Right as we start here. So Yujiro throws Fujita to the outside, and Sho throws him into the barricade as well. So the Young Lions do not train much for fighting outside of the ring, and they're definitely out of their element already. Back in the ring now, Yujiro maintains control over Fujita, and the crowd rallies behind the Young Lions here. Sho tags in, keeps control himself. Fujita tries to fight back, but Sho rakes the eyes to keep it. Fujita then is able to hit a drop kick, tag in Nakashima, and he comes in with fire, takes out Sho with big strikes here. Sho blocks a Boston Crab attempt by Nakashima, but Nakashima dodges an attack and then hits a lariat, applies the Boston Crab he was looking for before. So Yujiro has to come in to break up the hold. But Fujita comes in and puts Yujiro on the Boston Crab as well, and Sho is able to get to the ropes. So the Young Lions double team Sho now, and this would be a great time for the Young Lions to beat Sho. Kick off the first G1 show in Korakuen Hall here with a bang with the Young Lions winning. But, however, Sho turns it around and applies the snake bite submission hold right onto the previously coming back from injured shoulder of Nakashima, and the elbow, I should say, and Nakashima taps out. So your winners by submission are the House of Torture, and Fujita has to help Nakashima to the back. So just going right after the Young Lions were definitely over matched with the whole brawling on the outside stuff, and then Nakashima's injury cost the team the match in the end. So we'll have to keep an eye on if Nakashima can recover from that injury or not, if it's going to be an Achilles heel for him going forward. So the next match, the second match of the night, is Chaos. This time it's Ishii and Yano versus Bad Dude Tito and JONAH. So former IWGP Tag Team Champions here with Ishii and Yano, and they combine up for the first time since 2022 World Tag League, and they're going to take on JONAH and Bad Dude Tito from TMDK, also known as the K9 Connection, individually as a team. So Tito has impressed in his preliminary tags all the way through the series, and he has JONAH. Him and JONAH have a bone to pick with Yano after they both got low blowed and cost JONAH his first G1 match against Yano. So they'll be looking for payback here. JONAH also remembers a big win they got over Ishii at Impact Wrestling back in the spring. So can they pick up some revenge here? Oh, Ishii actually beat JONAH, my bad. So JONAH has double revenge on the mind in this one. So TMDK come out first, and they mentioned that they have mentioned in the last backstage comments that they want to enter the tag league, World Tag League this year. So the K9 Connection might be in this year's World Tag League. So this is a big match and proving to the New Japan officials right here if they can defeat former IWGP Tag Champions, and maybe TMDK can get their second team worthy of a spot in the tag tournament. So Ishii and Yano are out now, and this is always a weird team. Ishii always hates people that don't take wrestling seriously, but Ishii normally says that because he wants them to unlock their full potential. So maybe Ishii doesn't see potential in Yano, and he's making him fine with it. That's the only way I can explain Ishii being fine with tagging with Yano. I know they're on the same team and they teamed in the past, but it's kind of against his whole moral code. Anyway, Yano begs for mercy for the low blow against both TMDK members before the match even starts. JONAH does not accept the apology, goes right on the attack. Yano tries to rake the eyes, but it doesn't work, and JONAH slams him down and tags in Bad Dude Tito. So Bad Dude Tito yells at Yano, apologize to my balls for that low blow. Then K9 Connection keep Yano isolated in their corner with some quick tags now, and the crowd goes wild for Bad Dude Tito hitting a springboard senton to come in the ring. They're starting to really like Tito. So JONAH now back in and squeezes the life out of Yano. The crowd rallies for Yano to fight back, so he does, but JONAH keeps control and then starts yelling at the crowd. And even though I couldn't, even I couldn't understand what JONAH said to the crowd here. And English is my first language, so nobody in the crowd knew what JONAH said. Anyway, Yano eventually dodges a running senton and tags in Ishii. Ishii runs in, hits three big shoulder tackles, but JONAH just absorbs them all. And then it only takes one big shoulder tackle from JONAH to knock down Ishii. Ishii is able to was able to hit the brainbuster during their match on Impact, but JONAH isn't worn down enough, so this time JONAH blocks it and takes control. JONAH then hits a running senton to Ishii, but JONAH gets thrown around with a big German suplex. That was great looking from Ishii to the 400-pound JONAH. So tag to Tito now, and Ishii and Tito trade chops in the corner, and Tito hits a lariat. The crowd cheers for both men here, and Ishii counters a discus lariat, but Tito counters right back and hits a vertical suplex. Yano now tags in, taking the turnbuckle off, and he hits a Manhattan drop on Tito, but Yano is the one that gets sent into the exposed turnbuckle, his own taken down by his own tactics. So JONAH then comes in without tagging, and they hit a big double team move on Yano. Ishii has to come in and break the pin. JONAH and Ishii now brawl to the outside. Yano hits Tito with the exposed turnbuckle, and then Ishii throws JONAH into the barricade, gets back in the ring, and they double team Tito. And Yano was able to roll up Tito after that for the 1-2-3. The winners of this match by pinfall are Chaos. Pretty good match other than when Yano was in the ring. K9 Connection will have about 9 more G1 shows where JONAH won't be in a league match to potentially impress New Japan officials. So maybe 8 to 9 more tag team matches for them in this tour to impress enough to get invited to the World Tag League. So that was one of my favorite. That one right there was one of my favorite preliminary tag matches. Definitely check that one out. It was TMDK/K9 Connection versus Ishii and Yano. So anyway, the next match with Aaron Henare set to face Goto Wednesday, 6-man tag match here. Previews that with Goto joining the Guerrillas of Destiny for this evening against United Empire. The 3 people that aren't in league matches, it'll be Great-O-Khan in a league match later on in the night. So Henare made a direct appeal to Goto to just stand and bang in what's sure to be a pretty hard-hitting battle at the Hall on tomorrow night. That whole thing was about Henare's been saying, don't attack my weak Achilles heel, or my weak Achilles tendon like that coward Zack Sabre Jr. Just fight me straight up, Goto. So Henare is begging people not to go after his weakness now. So as Goto seeks to win on tomorrow night, 2 straight, and Henare wants to reach the halfway point with a positive win-loss record, also 2-1. So both of them are at 1-1 going into tomorrow's league match. United Empire have been unstoppable in their multi-man matches so far during the preliminaries on this tour. Can they pick up another win tonight? So let's check it out. United Empire come out first. They're showing off some new t-shirts designed by jeweler Justin Davis that Great-O-Khan won't even stop talking about Justin Davis for even one day. But Great-O-Khan is going to be upset in the backstage comments tonight, regardless of how his league match goes, because there's not many of the green lights in the crowd tonight that Great-O-Khan wants everybody to buy and put money in the Empire's coffers. So Goto's amazing music then hits, and Tama Tonga and Jado come out with Goto. And Jora, which is Goto's staff, is here as well, the real star of the show, if you ask Kenta. So we'll start the match with a pretty great matchup. It'll be Tama Tonga and Will Ospreay. They grapple for a few seconds, but then quicken the pace big time here with the best flurry of the night so far. Ospreay hits a drop kick, but Tama answers back with a drop kick of his own. Then Jado tags in and works over the arm of Ospreay, tags in Goto. Goto rings the arm and then works on it a little bit, tags in Tama. So they're working on the arm with quick tags here. Ospreay quickens the pace again now that Tama's back in and ducks under a lariat and hits a nice running hurricanrana. Now the action spills into a big brawl on the outside. Cobb and Tama are brawling. Cobb throws him into the barricade hard and then goes back in the ring to help Ospreay. Ospreay goes to work on Tama here. It was Tama that got thrown in the ring by Cobb. So Ospreay goes to work on Tama as the crowd rallies big time for Tama Tonga to fight back. Jeff Cobb tags in now, hits a big throat thrust, and has Tama in trouble now. The crowd rallies again, but Jeff Cobb just surfs on Tama Tonga's back to keep control. Ospreay then runs in without a tag, but Tama counters a double team here. Really nice counter. Then drop kicks both United Empire men into each other, basically. So Tama's able to tag out to Goto here, and Henare comes in as well. So we get to preview their G1 League match tomorrow. And they start with a big striking battle, but then the pace quickens, and Goto takes control after a big corner lariat. Leg lariat, I should say, and then a slam. So Henare then battles back with big stiff kicks to the leg of Goto, but Goto just absorbs them and hits a big lariat, taking down the big guy to the mat. So Jado then tags in, and it looks like Henare was about to take control, so Tama and Goto run in to knock down Henare. Then Tama and Goto attack the other two on the apron. Things completely break down now. Ospreay takes out Tama. Henare takes out Goto with a big strike. Then Jado comes out from behind, trying to apply a crossface, but Henare was way too strong for that. And then Ospreay and Cobb brawl with the other two on the outside, while Henare locks in the Ultimate Weapon full Nelson, forcing Jado to tap out. So your winners of the match by submission are United Empire. They keep their winning streak alive in these preliminary tag matches on the G1 Tour. Henare is talking trash to Goto after the match, but Goto just leaves with his staff, Jora Jora. So that'll be a huge league match tomorrow night. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Will Goto attack the Achilles tendon of Henare, or will Goto just have a straight up match like Henare is begging for, basically? So that will already be Henare's third match of the league tomorrow. That's pretty interesting with some guys having their first match tonight. So Ospreay is then making fun of Master Wado, who was out there on Japanese commentary saying, like, why are you here of all people? So just Master Wado catching strays from Will Ospreay for no reason here. That's harsh. So the next match sees another Chaos team. This time it'll be Okada and YOSHI-HASHI teaming with Tanahashi, and they'll take on Suzuki-gun, Taichi, Taka Michinoku, and Zack Sabre Jr. So we'll see a little preview of Tanahashi and Zack Sabre Jr. They'll fight this weekend in Aichi, and already one win clear the rest of his block. Zack Sabre Jr. is looking to extend his lead, while the ace resumes his rivalry with the submission master, badly wanting another 2 points on the board after losing his first match to Henare. Meanwhile, with Taichi still in a strong 1-1 record position, the potential exists for a Taichi Okada semifinal, making some intriguing exchanges here in Kurgan Hall tonight. So Zack Sabre Jr.'s music hits, and he comes out alongside Taka Michinoku, and the Dangerous Techers are here back again, teaming together with Taka. Okada's music hits now, and while Tanahashi has to come out to Okada's music, no separate entrance for Tanahashi here. So Tanahashi shoots the camera a look as if to say, Okada's music, huh? Pretty funny look by good body language by Tanahashi, not even having to say a word. YOSHI-HASHI's here too as well. Don't forget about him. Tanahashi and Zack will start the match. So a preview of their match this weekend in league action. So the crowd's definitely ready for this one. They're super loud with their claps before the match even starts. Zack gets the first takedown, and then they reverse each other for a while on the mat, with Zack dishing out the most damage in this exchange between the two. They get back to their feet until Zack's able to take down Tanahashi again. Then Tana gets out of it and slaps Zack really hard across the face. So Zack's been working on the arm of Tanahashi throughout all of this. Taichi and Taka now attack the other Chaos members on the apron so that Zack can continue to destroy Tanahashi's arm here, trying to wear it down for their league match this weekend. Taichi now tags in. He looks super focused now that he's already gotten the Ishii match over with and his match against his quote unquote brother Sonata. So Taichi can now just kind of focus and lock in after he got those 2 rivalry matches over within his block. Taichi applies a claw to the midsection of Tanahashi, which was pretty funny. And then Suzuki-gun uses quick tags to isolate Tanahashi in their corner. But eventually Tanahashi hits a big dragon screw leg whip on Zack. So that's something to look for going forward to their league match. Zack's going to be getting his knee attacked while Tanahashi will be getting his arm attacked. So they both tag out now, and Okada and Taichi are now in. Okada takes out everyone from the apron, then hits a DDT on Taichi. Okada looks fired up tonight, being back in Korakuen Hall. So Okada then looks a little bit leaner, skinnier. Maybe he dropped a few pounds, keeping his stamina up for the summer heat of G1. Either that, or he's already lost a couple pounds in the heat of the G1 in the 10 days that it's been going on. So Taichi tries to fight back, but he eats a big boot here from Okada. YOSHI-HASHI now tags in and hits a big chop. His chops are devastating. YOSHI-HASHI has some really loud chops, and that's the Taichi. But Taichi turns it around with a throat hold, and Taka tags in. Taka then pokes the eyes of YOSHI-HASHI, who responds with another loud chop. So Taka quickens the pace and applies the just face lock. Uh, what's it called? The crossface. But Tanahashi comes in to make the save and then gets taken out by all Suzuki-gun members. YOSHI-HASHI then lines up a massive lariat and hits the one that on Taka Michinoku for the 1-2-3. So the winners of the match are Chaos and Tanahashi. For the first time YOSHI-HASHI has pinned someone off of his big lariat. So either he's been bulking up and getting stronger and improving, like maybe we think YOSHI-HASHI has been doing, or it's just Taka taking another embarrassing loss on this tour. Taka has been costing his team the match every time he's out there. So and quickly loses too. He doesn't even get much offense. So Zack Sabre Jr. and Tanahashi talk trash in each other's face, and then they leave. They will have the big league match this weekend. I'm really looking forward to that one. So let's move on to our next match. It'll be 8-man tag action that'll see Sonata and Jay White opposite of each other before meeting, or after their meeting on night 1. Remember, Jay White got a big win over Sonata on night 1. We'll also see El Phantasmo squaring off with Shingo Takagi here before they meet on the last night of G1 action on August 16th. So it will be an Los Ingobernales de Japón versus Bullet Club match here. Setting up maybe a wild affair that could headline Korakuen on a normal night, but tonight they will just headline the preliminary tag matches. So this is the last tag match before we start G1 league matches. And with Tetsuya Naito's back pressed even further against the wall now, being 0-2 in his G1 campaign, will he be cutting loose here or letting his frustrations out on everyone? Let's find out. So all 4 members of LIJ have their separate entrances, meaning Bushi got a separate entrance, but not Tanahashi, which is just so weird to me. Anyway, Bushi out first as usual, then Sonata, Shingo, and Naito out last. Hiromu is in America for New Japan Strong right now, if you're wondering what Hiromu's been doing. So Bullet Club then come out. They've got their new DX sounding Degeneration X rip-off Bullet Club theme to go after their last one was kind of like a NWO influence. So I like that they went from NWO to DX with their themes. And it's starting to grow on me with the bullet. But anyway, ELP leads them out, and Jay White comes out last with Gato in tow. Bad Luck Follies in a bad mood after Jeff Cobb gave him the tour of the islands. So this match is going to be Bad Luck Folly, El Phantasmo, Gato, and Jay White versus Bushi, Sonata, Shingo, and Naito. So LIJ, as usual, take their time getting ready and doing the fist pose. The whole time Jay White's yelling at them to hurry up, which was pretty funny. Sonata wants to start the match with Jay White for some revenge, and I couldn't quite get a good look at Sonata's eye to see if it was swollen from Taichi's attacks, but when I do get a good look, it doesn't look too bad. It's not really swollen. Sonata's eye is not swollen too much. So Jay White wants Sonata to do some push-ups, so weirdly Sonata just does them, and Jay White attacks Sonata while the push-ups were happening. That'll start us off the match made Sonata look weird there. But anyway, Sonata blocks a Paradise Lock attempt that Jay White tried to use, and then Jay White gets locked right into the Paradise Lock right after that. So Sonata then does his push-ups right next to Jay White, who's trapped in the ball, not able to move. That was pretty funny. So I guess that's why he did the push-ups, to set up this funny spot earlier. But it still doesn't really explain why Sonata would do it in the first place. Anyway, the rest of LIJ then get rushed by Bullet Club so that they couldn't come in and help Jay. Or the LIJ rushed Bullet Club so they couldn't get Jay out of the Paradise Lock while all that was happening. And Sonata kicks Jay White free after the push-ups, then tags in Naito. So they double team Jay's arm before Sonata leaves, and then Fale tags in. So Gato is able to hold on to Naito's leg from outside the ring. That allows Fale to hit a big corner splash on Naito, and then a big brawl on the outside of the ring starts. So Naito gets the worst of it and thrown into the barricade and then back in the ring. ELP then tags in and does some jumping jacks and push-ups into a back rake on Naito, who Bad Luck Fale pulled up Naito's shirt so the back rake could be applied effectively. So ELP then rakes the eyes and tags in Gato. Naito tries to grab Gato's beard, but Gato pokes the eyes to block this. Naito's now thrown to the outside and gets triple teamed by the Bullet Club, getting thrown into the barricade again here. Gato now tags in Bad Luck Fale, and Naito tries to fight back and is successful with a running forearm to the face of Fale, which sends Fale stumbling back. Shingo and ELP now both tag in, and they will meet in the final night of block action. So Shingo takes control and hits a standing senton. ELP blocks the next move, but Shingo stays in control until Jay White runs in to help. So Shingo counters this double team, and the crowd absolutely loves it. They're huge in the Shingo here. So usually Korakuen Hall lately, I should say, it has been LIJ country, even over like Okada. So anyway, ELP dodges a sliding lariat attempt, but ELP dodges two more moves after that, and Shingo does a springboard moonsault that connects. So ELP knocks down Shingo and then tunes up the band, but Shingo catches Sweet Chin Music and blocks it and hits a nice Death Valley driver on ELP. Bushi now tags in, hits a DDT on ELP for a 2 count. These two fought at the start of this year's Best of the Super Juniors. So ELP grabs the nipples of Bushi here and then tags in Gato, who applies the hold as well. Bushi counters, doesn't submit to the purple Nurple, which would have been hilarious if someone ever submits to that. But Bushi counters Gato, and Jay runs in now. Everyone runs in, actually, and Shingo clotheslines Fale over the top rope. Everyone's brawling on the outside except for Naito and Bushi, who hit a double team on Gato in the ring. Bushi hits the MX diving codebreaker for the 1-2-3. So the winners of this match by pinfall are Los Ingobernables de Japón. Bushi getting his first pinfall of this G1 tour, and Gato yet again costing his team the win, just like Dick Togo and Taka Michinoku have been doing for their respective teams. The old juniors just picking up tons of pinfalls on this tour. Naito then puts an ice pack mockingly on Jay White's knee, and Jay's limping around a little bit. Something must have happened during that brawl to the outside. I didn't quite see what hurt Jay White's knee, but apparently Jay White has a hurt knee coming out of this one, and I don't even see Gato. He must have been taken out to the back by a young lion right away. Anyway, LIJ do the 4-man fist pose in the ring as Jay White's talking trash, and now he's icing his elbow too, so Jay might have a little bit of hurt elbow as well. So Jay took a little bit too much damage for his liking in a preliminary tag match here. That's pretty interesting. We'll have to hear what he says in the 2J show. Come check out. I do all these live reviews right after each show, but then later in the day, I make a separate video for the backstage comments. Basically, just if you're not a fan of reading subtitles, I'll read it out for you. So anyway, we get to hear more of Bushi's theme music than usual. And actually, when it starts playing for a few minutes, there's a woman singing in the background. I never knew that before. So we get to hear like 2.5 minutes straight of Bushi's music at the end here, which was pretty funny. So now we have our quick intermission. Nothing of note or no news comes out of it. So let's move in to G1 action now. We'll start tonight in B block action with Chase Owens versus Great Okan. They have a singles record of 1-0 that Chase Owens has the win. But if you want to count when Okan was the young lion Oka, Owens had 2 more wins, but that doesn't really count. So if there is some honor among thieves when it comes to Kenta and Evil later tonight in G1 action, Great Okan finds no honor with Chase Owens after the Crown Jewel stole away victory in recent encounters. And then on May 1st, Owens and Bad Luck Fale took the IWGP World Heavyweight Tag team championships away from United Empire, and not even by pinning United Empire, but pinning the other team in the three-way match. So fair enough. But Owens' single win over O-Khan in Washington, D.C. earlier this year was anything but fair, with the D.C. crowd cheering on O-Khan. Owens pinned O-Khan with both feet on the ropes. So O-Khan definitely wants revenge for that one, and this is O-Khan's first ever G1 a first G1 match this year. So that was that whole three people are making their G1 league debuts, not of the year. Not Tom Lawler's is the debut of period, but you know what I'm trying to say. Sorry about the confusion. Anyway, Chase Owens comes out first, and by the way, Great O'Khan was calling Chase Cheese Owens because he thinks you're out here calling yourself the big cheese all of a sudden. So Great O'Khan spent all of yesterday or all of Sunday on the backstage comment calling him Cheese Owens, which was kind of funny. It wasn't as cringe as it sounds. So anyway, I counted about Chase Owens came out first, then Great O'Khan makes his entrance. I counted about 30, maybe 20 or 30 of those green lights in the crowd in support of United Empire. So Great O'Khan will definitely have something to say about the lack of green lights. He's trying to get that over. So during Great O'Khan's entrance, Chase throws white powder, in the Great O'Khan's eyes before the bell even rings. So this is not a disqualification, but the bell rings weirdly right after that, and O-Khan is the clear fan favorite in this match. They rally for him to fight back right away. But unfortunately, O-Khan is blinded from this powder, and Owens hits a big Northern Lights suplex to start the match. But Owens does not stay on the attack with big attacks, instead slowing the pace way down and putting the boots to O-Khan. And I think that was a mistake right there. Chase needed to take advantage of his dirty tactic until O-Khan can see again. But Chase doesn't seem in a hurry whatsoever, allowing O-Khan to slowly get the powder out of his eyes and stuff. So Chase wears down O-Khan, but no high impact moves since that one Northern Lights suplex. Now Owens works over the leg of O-Khan, and it affects the groin muscle as well. That's where O-Khan's grabbing now. The crowd rallies again for O-Khan, and I thought someone in the crowd was actually speaking for once, but nope, it was just Chase mockingly chanting O-Khan, O-Khan. So finally, O-Khan hits a move. It's a suplex that Owens then eats a bunch of Mongolian chops. Rapid Mongolian chops now has Chase in trouble. And just like I said, Chase did not capitalize on the powder to the eyes well enough. So Chase is now tied up in the tree of woe all of a sudden, and O-Khan hits a terrible looking sliding kick that barely even touched Owens, if at all. O-Khan then keeps the pace slow, hits a big forearm, and Chase counters in the corner to hit a kick and a slingshot code breaker. And not really to the chin, but more to the chest. It still was like the code breaker type maneuver, but Owens hits a lariat after this for a 2 count. The crowd rallies again for the United Empire man. O-Khan counters twice in a row, but Chase throws him out of the ring. O-Khan counters outside of the ring again and slams back and forth over and over Chase Owens' head on the apron. O-Khan then yells out basketball as if he was dribbling Owens' head there. And then O-Khan yells out slam dunk and hits one more big slam, but harder than the rest. So he slam dunks at the end here. Pretty cool. I like that. I wouldn't mind seeing O-Khan have that a lot more often in his matches. So back in the ring now, Owens counters and then rolls up O-Khan with his feet up on the ropes, just like how he won in Washington, D.C. in their only ever singles match. But this time the referee sees the feet on the ropes and stops the count, of course. So Owens then hits a sunset flip buckle bomb into the turnbuckle. That was pretty cool. Great looking move there from Chase Owens, who then O-Khan blocks a C trigger, which then putting an iron claw on the knee by that's how he blocked it. That was a cool block by putting the iron claw on. But O-Khan then locks in the sheep killer. Owens tries to strike to get out, but O-Khan then hits a backbreaker and then reapplies the sheep killer. Owens is still able to get out, but O-Khan hits a big TDD driver, but again, it didn't look very good. O-Khan not looking great in this match. That was a move that Master Wado uses, the TDD driver, and Kawato and Oka were Young Lion rivals, by the way, so that might be a little nod to that. So Owens then turns the match around, hitting O-Khan in the throat across the ropes, and then a nasty C trigger by Chase Owens, the knee strike here, and then somehow Chase Owens hits the package pile driver and gets the 1-2-3. The winner of the match by pinfall is Chase Owens. I don't even really know why Chase Owens is in G1, let alone beating O-Khan here. But whatever, that match was not very good. Even Great Khan didn't look very good. Chase Owens looked the better wrestler, to be honest. And that sunset flip buckle bomb was probably the move of the match. So Chase Owens says that Bullet Club's just getting started tonight, as we've got 3 other Bullet Club members in action later tonight in G1 action, and that'll start with the next match with the Bullet Club versus House of Torture match. So it will be Kenta versus Evil. They have a singles record of 1-1, and this is a Bullet Club derby. We'll see Evil wrestle his first G1 match with Kenta here in Korakuen. They have 1 win apiece in their careers. Like I said, Kenta battled Evil in 2019 and in 2020 G1s, and both before joined Bullet Club. So they have somewhat of a shared experience here. And Kenta was rather philosophical with Evil, cheated his way to victory in G1 Climax 30. So no doubt he'll be expecting similar tactics here tonight. But what would the game plan be? And or will he slip to 0-2? Kenta already losing to Zack Sabre Jr. So this is a big match. Evil's music hits, and Dick Togo comes out with him holding on to his wire weapon. So that's why we didn't see Dick Togo earlier. Evil comes out. He's got a great looking cape on tonight. And we see the fans in the crowd. They're holding up, a bunch of them are holding up Kenta's new book that just hit shelves today in Japan. And Kenta comes out. The crowd's 100% behind Kenta in this match, as they're always 100% against any House of Torture member. So Kenta acknowledges all the books in the crowd really quickly before getting in the ring, and the bell rings. And Evil wants to shake hands. Kenta thinks about it and shakes hands. So Evil, of course, double crosses him here, trying to hit the finisher, but Kenta blocks it. So Evil begs off, apologizes, now wants to do a too sweet. So Kenta goes to do it, but then pokes Evil in the eyes and tries to hit the GTS, but Evil blocks this. So both men trying to double cross the other and hit their finishers early. Kenta then goes out of the ring and finds a book, his book, underneath the ring. Kenta gifts the book to Evil. Evil acts like he's reading it real quick, but then just attacks Kenta and throws the book up in the air. The fight then goes to the outside and a brawl ensues. Kenta tries to hit Evil with the bell hammer. This was a cool spot, but Evil blocks it with the ring bell, ringing the bell really loud. That was pretty cool. Evil then sends Kenta hard into the barricade, and the entire table that ring announcer Abe was sitting on flips over upside down, and the ring announcer takes a huge spill here. That was one of the best looking moves of the night, was that announcer getting destroyed. But Evil then grabs the announcer's microphone, and it kind of turns into an impromptu I quit match as Kenta is getting beaten up, and Evil wants him to say I quit over the microphone, holding the microphone up to Kenta's mouth. That was, again, pretty funny. Some funny spots here in the match so far. Back in the ring now, Kenta gets thrown into the exposed turnbuckle. We didn't even know it was exposed, so Dick Togo must have took it off while no one was looking. Kenta then counters an abdominal stretch into one of his own, and Togo was going to help Evil with this abdominal stretch, had his back turned, and he ends up helping Kenta instead. A spot we saw not too long ago in the Road 2 shows, but still pretty funny. The crowd loves it, and Kenta unloads some big kicks now, his patented big kicks. Evil grabs one of the kicks, however, and throws the leg into the referee. The referee just kind of gets up a few seconds later. So both men then counter their finishers back and forth here, I think about 2 times each, until Kenta hits a DDT. And amongst all of that flurry there, the referee gets knocked down again and stays down. So Kenta goes under the ring again, this time finding a crutch. So Dick Togo comes into the ring, takes the crutch away. When Kenta then falls to the ground, the referee's now back up, and Kenta acts like Togo hit him. The referee's up, but does not kick out Togo. I don't think he kicked out Dick Togo, let alone a disqualification. So anyway, Evil takes control now, hitting Kenta into the exposed turnbuckle again, but Kenta counters the scorpion submission into the game over, but then the lights go out. So, here we go. When they come on, Evil's in control, of course, using the t-shirt on Kenta as a weapon. I think it was Kenta's t-shirt. Now Evil goes under the ring, and he gets 2 chairs. He gives one of them to Kenta, however, and they have a sword fight with the chairs. Kenta wins this exchange and hits Evil twice with the chair on the outside. Now they both try to pull each other away so that they can get a count-out victory and get in the ring at the last second. Evil gets in the ring, and Kenta's about to follow, but Dick Togo was under the ring, holding on to Kenta's legs, and Kenta gets counted out. The winner of the match by count-out is Evil, And even with the screwy ending here, the match wasn't very good, but it did see a lot of funny little moments. So this was more of a comic relief match. We see Sho come out, and it's revealed that it was him that turned out the lights earlier. Dick Togo tries to apologize to his Bullet Club teammate Kenta here, and Togo even holds up Kenta's book, trying to like, hey, everyone, buy this. Kenta eventually two sweets them, and man, we've so far on this tour we've seen Kenta getting berated and yelled at by Bullet Club leader Jay White, and now he has to take all this crap from House of Torture. Please leave Bullet Club, Kenta. You're above all of this. So anyway, we're on to our second to last match of the night in A block action, the monster block. It'll be Lance Archer versus Tom Lawler. Tom Lawler finally gets to get his campaign underway here at Korakuen Hall, and it'll be a tall order against Lance Archer here. So Lawler has pledged to make a giant Silva out of the imposing Archer and cut him down to size with his considerable grappling skills. So Archer comes into the hall having lost his last two Korakuen Hall matchups to roll-ups by Tanahashi and a game over from Kenta back in 2019. So the Murder Hawk monster here, smarting from a count-out loss against Fale to kick off his campaign in Sendai. Will this make him all the more dangerous and bloodthirsty, or can Lawler find a way past the Suzuki-gun and AEW representatives? So this match ends up being really good. I like this match a lot. Out first is Lance Archer, and finally we get to see Tom Lawler, filthy Tom Lawler, if you will, start his G1. So Tom dances to the ring and even gets the crowd to clap in rhythm to his music. So good job by Tom. I'm sure the New Japan officials will take note of that crowd participation there. So my prediction for this match is Tom hitting a nasty knee on the brain. Let's see if my prediction comes true. Archer gets a laugh out of from everyone, even including me. So Tom always does an exaggerated thing where he takes off his short Daisy Dukes to reveal even shorter, tighter Daisy Dukes. So Archer then starts unbuckling his belt, looking like he's going to take his pants off, but then stops. The entire arena laughs at this. So the match starts out really good with Tom looking for holds while Archer's looking for big shots. So that's the story of this match. And the first 30 seconds of that match already told that story. And it was some of the best stuff we saw all night. So this should be good. Archer's just going to be looking for big shots and trying to avoid getting holds applied to him by Tom Lawler here. So really good dynamic to this match. And Archer baits Tom into a striking battle instead after that 30-second flurry at the beginning. And this is interesting as well because we don't know who has the harder strikes between the two and who's tougher. I would assume it's Archer, but with MMA background for Tom Lawler, you never know. Archer then after that striking exchange hits a big pounce period, and even Kevin Kelly acknowledges Monty Brown, gives him a shout out. I always loved the alpha male Monty Brown. So anyway, or he's the one that pounces from Monty Brown. So anyway, I'm not going to say he invented it. I'm sure that move has been in wrestling since the 60s. But Archer then takes the fight to the outside of the ring. This is exactly where Tom Lawler won't want to have this fight take place. Archer then throws Tom into the barricade, slams him into the barricade again, and I can't even quite tell who the crowd is cheering for. But the crowd's very into this match. And later on, I do realize that they're 100% behind Lance Archer. So back in the ring, Archer hits 2 corner attacks, but Tom dodges a third one. Then Tom hits multiple quick jabs, and then stomps on the foot of Archer. This just fires up Archer, who slams Tom into the turnbuckle face first. Archer mounts Tom with some big palm strikes. Now, the first one was a punch. The referee yelled at him, and then he was like, all right, well, here's some palm strikes instead. So Archer then hits a massive throwing release vertical suplex that just sends Tom 3/4 of the way across the ring. That was awesome. Archer then tries to hit a Rainmaker Lariat out of nowhere. Archer is going to fight Okada later on, so maybe he's sending the message there, but Tom is able to dodge this. Then Tom Lawler jumps up and applies a guillotine headlock, but Tom transitions into different submissions quickly here, taking Archer to the mat. Then Tom hits the 12-6 elbow strikes, but Archer goes in the desperation mode and is able to get out of this, hits a big boot to get a little breather. So Tom isn't quite phased from the big boot and gets Archer back to the mat almost immediately, and it was nicely applied doing that as well. So Tom fully applies an armbar all the way stretched out, and Archer's in major trouble. It doesn't take long for an armbar to make someone tap out or snap their arm, ending that would end Archer's G1 right there. So Tom feels it slipping though from the power advantage that Archer has, so he rolls up Archer for a 2 count. They're both on their feet now, and Tom's forearms only serve to fire up Archer. Tom hits about 10 in a row, but Archer just counters them into a full Nelson. Tom escapes this pretty quickly and jumps onto another arm hold, but Archer's able to fall into the ropes. If that was in the middle after the previous armbar, that might have spelled disaster for Archer, but like I said, Archer falls to the ropes instead, breaking the hold. So Tom then hits knee strikes by holding a cravat on the head, and then Tom does the filthy pose with Isaacs. Royce Isaacs is accompanied by Tom Lawler on this match. I forgot to mention, but this is a mistake because Archer then gets back up, hits a choke slam from the ring to the outside, sending Tom in the Royce Isaacs. So back in the ring now, Archer hits a black hole slam. No shout out to Abyss, however, for this. Like Monty Brown got the shout out. And then the crowd is 100% behind Archer. They want him to end it, but Tom blocks another choke slam attempt and hits an Olympic slam on the much larger Archer. That was a great looking move. We're 10 minutes into the match now, which is cool that they got 10 minutes at least. So Tom then puts Archer into a straitjacket, looking to finish it with his nasty knee to the brain, but Tom eventually Archer gets out of this by electric chairing and falling backwards. That looked pretty nasty. He squashed Tom on that one. Archer's hurt from all that. It was applied for about 15 seconds, but Tom tries to apply some the same rear naked. So I forgot to mention, after the nasty knee to the brain was blocked, Tom got a rear naked hold on, and then goes back for it here, but Archer counters out and hits massive knee lift and a punch, and then the blackout for the 1-2-3. So great match here. The winner of the match by pinfall is Lance Archer, and Archer was able to block that nasty knee on the brain attempt. That was basically what decided this match, in my opinion. Really good match, though. It tells a good story, and it tells us that Tom Lawler might even be able to get an entertaining match against Bad Luck Fale later in the block. He might be the only person in NJPW to be able to get a good match out of Fale. Well, maybe other than Zack Sabre Jr. So the next match, big rivalry main event. It's main event time. Former Finn Juice collide. Juice Robinson versus David Finlay. And the singles record is 3 wins to 0 wins for Finlay. It's 3 of them going to Juice Robinson, but none of them since 2016. And on April 16th, Juice Robinson and David Finlay took on TMDK in Chicago, and interviews right after the media after the event indicated that Robinson will retire from pro wrestling after the bout. Goodbyes were said between the two best friends who had supported one another through the torturous Noge Dojo regime all the way to the IWGP Tag Team Championship. But 2 weeks later, Juice struck down Hiroshi Tanahashi at Dominion, I think, or maybe not, but he joined Bullet Club in the process and openly stating that he lied. So in the process, a 6-year friendship was destroyed, and this main event will be much more personal than just the 2 points on the line. Finlay struggled out of the blocks, and he's going to need to get those points and some closure maybe on this rivalry. So big story behind this match. This match just isn't important for the story, but the biggest tournament in the world, 2 points on the line here. So not only that, but it's also a big match for the fans. So last Wednesday, the weekday G1 show got blasted by New Japan fans for not being very good. But at least that show had a good main event between Goto and Naito. So even though I personally just really enjoyed that not Bad Luck Fale, but that Lance Archer Tom Lawler match we just saw, I could see a lot of fans not even liking that match. So this match right here needs to deliver in the main event. Otherwise, the fans are yet again going to lose faith in G1, especially when it's going to be the weekday match event. So Juice comes out first, and he's so mad at Abe, the ring announcer, who already took a hard fall tonight, that he didn't introduce Juice as the IWGP US champion, that Juice still is the holder of the title, but Will Ospreay is the actual champion. Juice then attacks Abe and threatens to attack the referee Red Shoes as well. So then Finlay makes his entrance. We see a woman holding up a Finn Juice shirt in the crowd, so she's going to be torn in this one. But Finlay gets right in Juice's face and yells, and then Juice yells, "Ring the bells." So both men are ready for this one. Neither are backing down. Both men want to prove that they are the Shawn Michaels of Finn Juice and not the Marty Jannetty. Big match here. So Finley uses his superior grappling skills, his amateur wrestling skills at the very beginning here to take control. Juice counters a headlock into one of his own, but Finley takes him right back down, and they counter each other back and forth quickly here until Juice has a headlock, and then Finley gets to his feet, ducks under, and then leaps over Juice. Juice sees it coming and tries for Pulp Fiction already, which is the finisher of the Unprettier from Juice. So that was a great flurry to start us off here, and then Finley talks trash, so Juice spits at him. Finley charges in, but Juice counters it and hyperextends Finley's arm across the ropes. So, wow, Finley has a history of shoulder problems. His former tag partner here, Juice, knows not just about the problems, but where to exactly and how to attack it. So the fight then spills to the outside with a brawl that Juice stays in control on. Juice uses the barricade as a fulcrum point here to damage the shoulder of Finley even more. Really nasty stuff here. Finley's in trouble already. The match just started. Back in the ring now, Juice slams him down arm first. Juice then applies a hammerlock on the bad arm and shoulder. The crowd rallying big time for Finley to fight back. And then we find out throughout this match, they are 100% behind Finley. They do not appreciate Juice not only turning on Finley, but turning his back on the crowd that loved him. So Juice then stays in control and slams the arm down again. Finley's in trouble, and only 5 minutes have passed. Finley's in a bad way. Juice then applies a step over arm bar, and the crowd rallies behind Finley again. Juice then lets go to hyperextend the arm multiple times, but this just fires up Finley, who goes into desperation mode. I should say not really fires up, but desperation mode. Finley finally goes on the attack. Finley hits a spinning neck breaker that looked really nice. That buys him some time to recover. The crowd gets super loud for that comeback, so that's when I knew they were 100% behind David Finley. Not long after this, Juice just takes control again, throwing Finley into the corner arm first, then applying a Fujiwara armbar. So Finley's in big trouble again and gets dragged back to the middle of the ring right as he was about to get to the ropes. But eventually Finley gets to the ropes, but that armbar was applied for at least 20 seconds. Not good here for Finley. Juice wants to take it back to the outside of the ring and hitting multiple barricade shots to Finley hard. So the crowd cheers again for Finley to fight back as Juice pulls the pad up on the outside of the ring, exposing the wood floor underneath. Juice looks to pile driver Finley right on it, but Finley blocks it twice and counters with a back body drop, sending Juice's back hard into the wood floor. So Finley's on the attack now. He's talking trash while sending Juice hard into the barricade himself. The crowd's absolutely loving it. Finley keeps the pace really quick here. He goes all the way around the ring, sending Juice around the ring, I think twice, hitting 8 barricade shots in the row. Looking pretty cool there. So the referee now starts his count after those 8 shots to get the action back in the ring. And I lost my spot. Hold on. Sorry about that. So yeah, they get back in the ring now, and then Finley kicks out of another attack. So the crowd is just so behind Finley here. Sorry about the little stumble there. Finley now stomps down hard. So this is another story of the match. Finley stomps down hard on the previously broken hand of Juice. So he stomps down multiple times. Juice now yells, "I'm sorry." And David says, "No, you're not," and continues the hand attacks. Finley says, "You asked for this," and then bites the hand hard. So Juice says, "Oh, okay, we're going to go that route." Juice takes the turnbuckle pad off, pokes David in the eyes, and throws Finley hard, bad shoulder first, into the ring post. That looked pretty devastating. So we've got both former tag members knowing right where the weak points on each person is. Finley then is back to being in trouble after that big ring post shot to his bad shoulder. Juice grinds Finley's face into the exposed turnbuckle and then sets Finley up the top rope for a superplex. Finley's able to block it with strikes and then hits a sunset flip to the ground. But Finley's next attack is his arm fails him and he drops Juice. He had picked up Juice and his arm fails him, but Juice now goes back on the attack, holding his hand, but still on the attack. And Juice's shoulder is much worse shape than Juice's hand. Now Juice is able to hit the superplex he wanted earlier from the top rope, but after that, Finley counters and hits the Trash Panda finisher, the Ushigoroshi neckbreaker. So, however, Finley was too hurt to cover right away, and Juice is able to roll out of the ring before a pin attempt was even attempted. So Juice then gets Juice. Finley gets Juice back in the ring right away and looks for another trash panda, but Juice counters this, hitting his big left-handed punch, the big left-handed punch from God or whatever he calls it. So Juice then hits Pulp Friction right after that. But the power of the crowd and the personal nature of this match wills Finley the kick out before the three came down. So big kick out there by Finley. And Juice wastes valuable time now arguing with the referee that was a 3 count. This was a mistake. It allows Finley a little bit time to recover here as Juice sets Finley back up on the top rope. Juice hits big chops and then blows his nose nastily all over Finley. And then Finley's able to block a middle rope Pulp Friction attempt. And Finley hits a stunner and then sliced bread number 2. And then Juice is just barely able to get his foot on the rope, breaking the pin. So Juice blocks another Trash Panda attempt, but Finley counters the next move and clotheslines Juice right out of the ring. Finley slingshots to the outside right away, but Juice counters it midair with his big punch. That looked nasty. Juice then hits the pile driver. Speaking of nasty, right on the exposed wood on the outside. Pile driver to the exposed wood for Juice. Juice then rolls Finley in the ring and hits the left hand of God again, but Juice spins around too many times looking for the rock slide, and Finley's able to escape. Then the referee gets knocked down, of course, so on that move. So Juice then goes over and picks up his IWGP US title and sets up a title shot, like as in hitting Finley with it, but Finley dodges it, grabs his shillelagh, and then Juice blocks the shillelagh shot with the US title. That was a loud bang, but a second shillelagh shot connects right after that. Finley makes the pin. Looks like he might have got the pin there, won the match, but he pulls Juice up at 2. Finley doesn't want to win that way. Instead, he hits the Trash Panda, the Ushigoroshi neckbreaker for the 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match by pinfall is David Finley. Great match here. Great stuff. Great story they told. If anyone tells you this was a bad match, they did not watch it. I guarantee you. With all the story attached to it, all the attacking of the previous injuries that only they would know about, an epic comeback by Finley to win and avenge his best friend abandoning him, with the crowd also feeling abandoned by Juice, and they loved every second of Finley coming back and winning. So plus, every move in this match was smooth, silky smooth. So great match here. If they say it's a bad match, they didn't watch it. They're just like, oh, I don't want to watch Finley and Juice in the main event. It was a bad match, and then they didn't even watch it. So anyway, Finley gets on the microphone, and we're told the first time he gets the microphone for winning the main event in Korakuen Hall. Big moment here for David Finley. So Finley says, Juice, this might not be your championship, and it's surely not mine, but I just took it from you tonight. And Will Ospreay, if you want your title back, you'll have to take it from me. Everyone in my block better be prepared. This is my G1 Climax. Expect me. So good match for David Finley here. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of his G1 goes. You never know. Someone like a Finley could end up winning their block. We're going to get at least a 1, maybe 2 surprises out of the 4 blocks. I would assume at least 1 like really shocking surprise, and Finley could be one of those guys. So now in the back with the in the press conference, David Finley says, fighting someone that I once considered a brother was very hard, but we always wanted to know that we always planned on that we wanted to be number 1 in this business. There's no room for tag teams at the top. So Ospreay, I know you won this US title, but you can have it back when you take it off me. But I have Shingo in a few days. I don't give a crap what accolades you have, Shingo, and who have you beaten. My name is David Finley, and I'm taking G1 Climax. So, decent promo. I mean, he could have gone into it a little bit more. He just quickly went through everything. Must have been out of breath. But that main event definitely saved the show for me, along with that Archer Lawler match right before it. The prelims weren't anything too special, although I did enjoy the TMDK / K9 Connection tag match. That was pretty good. But yeah, the final 2 matches of the night were definitely saved the show in my opinion. And we're back tomorrow night, so we'll be back at it again. I'll be here live in about 23 hours. But before that, I'll be putting out a video with the backstage comments. So if you're the type of person who doesn't enjoy reading subtitles, I'll be here later today and every single day with backstage comments read out, so you don't have to read the subtitles. But yeah, pretty good show. I could see people saying it was a terrible show, but I think those people wouldn't have even watched it. If you watched Finley versus Juice, then you would say the show was worth it, like just for that match alone, and then all the stuff setting up matches coming up, and even like some entertaining stuff in the other black matches as well. So I'm going to get going. I'll see you guys later today with the backstage comments. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace.